Cuse fans, this game was supposed to be a gauge on what this team was doing going forward. Well, after Saturday, it looks as though we got a little bit to go. It's time for game number 2 of the season, Cuse fans. And as I said before, many people thought this game would kind of show how far Syracuse had come as a team under Doug Marrone. Because, this was a matchup of two of the best of the rising teams in the country. Syracuse under Doug Marrone and Washington under former USC offensive coordinator and BYU quarterback Steve Sarkisian, who has shown he's got a pretty good mind for offense. And this Washington team definitely had a big gun in the form of Jake Locker. He's the quarterback who is expected to be possibly the number 1 pick in the 2011 draft. And some people are thinking that he might be in the race to be Buffalo's next quarterback. Well, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Hopefully Buffalo can do something under Chan Gailey. But let's get back to the game, shall we? It opened good for the Cuse. Ryan Nassib showing he had wheels on that nifty touchdown run. And then a nice field goal, and Syracuse was up 10-0 right off the bat. But then, Mr. Locker and the Huskies kicked it into another gear, and Locker showed why he is a special quarterback, with his arm, with his legs, including throwing 3 touchdown passes to Jermaine Kearse, who, I don't know if he's related to Javon, showed he could be a freak show right there, catching balls for the Huskies. But of course, Javon Kearse is the freak. And of course, as an R&B group in the mid-'80s said, it's a freakazoid, but you're not going to wind me up. You wind me up, I'll definitely be a freakazoid. And I might scare some people, like this. As you know what? That's how I felt with the way Syracuse's defense. Boy, they had no answer for Locker. And had no answer for Chris Polk later on. I hope the defense was going to do what it did against Akron and maybe turn this Chris into Polk Salad Annie. But of course, the Orange didn't get you, Granny. You ran off a nice touchdown run there later in the game, pretty much when Washington had the game wrapped up, 41-20. That was a really showing by the Orange. They didn't have any answers for Locker. They didn't have any answers for Kearse. They didn't have any answers for Polk. But we might get a nice dose of a elixir coming this week. Because it's time to open up the Loud House again. The first game of the season in the Loud House. And who do we get? An opponent that's going to strike fear into the hearts of maybe some lowly FCS teams, because it's the first of 2 FCS teams we play this year, the Black Bears of Maine, a team that when they came into the Dome last year actually led the Cuse at halftime before Doug Marrone and this bunch showed that FBS talent can win over FCS talent any day, rattling off 28 straight points in a 41-24 win last year, of which I attended in person. And let's get it going, because this is the 30th anniversary of when football was first started in the Dome, 1980, when the Cuse played Miami of Ohio in that thrilling game where Joe Morris ran wild. It's time again to get the Loud House going. 50,000 fans, hopefully, will start back in the Dome once Marrone returns this team to the top echelon of Division 1A, almost 1AA, pardon me. And speaking of FCS teams, there's rumors going around that Villanova might be stepping up from the FCS in football to join the Big East. Well, Villanova did win the FCS title last year, and it'd be good to have a team that we're such rivals against in basketball play us on the gridiron. But you know, the last time that a team from Philadelphia played us, they got bounced from the Big East and are now in the MAC. I just hope Villanova doesn't do that on the gridiron. And what about, in a little extra here, how about that one there that doesn't tie his shoelaces? I'm talking about Denard Shoelace Robinson. 500 total yards of offense against Notre Dame. You wonder, how come Syracuse didn't pick him up? You know, would he tie his shoes if he played for Syracuse? Or would he use the Velcro? Or would he chop off his locks? Boy, he really was something, wasn't he, Cuse fans? If only we could wonder. I'm Ken Haas, that's my story. And let's go get him against the Black Bears, Cuse.